everyone, welcome back to another video. First official video in the new set here, and I figured I would do something that I've wanted to do for the last couple weeks here. About 10 months ago I did this video, I think, ranking my favorite teams. I was going to wait until April and make it a 12-month wait, but so much has changed in this list that I figured 10 months is good enough. So we're pretty much going to get right into it. I'll kind of tell you quick, brief rundown of why I like the team or why I don't like the team. And we'll kind of get into it right away. So starting off at number 31. So at number 31, the New York Islanders. Just not a big Islanders fan. Never really have been. They're down one spot from last year. I believe last year I had them at number 30. So this year they did take a dive down to number 31. To be completely honest though, I really don't hate any team, at least not anymore. So I don't hate the Islanders. Just being a Rangers fan though, for the most part. I don't know. The Islanders I just have never really been a huge fan of. I like their jerseys. They're nice though. So that's something. Moving on, number 30. Hopefully when I'm putting each of these jerseys on, I'm not going to wreck my hair that much. I got to work here soon. So at number 30, the Ottawa Senators. This is the biggest dive on the list as far as where they were last year to where they are this year. They're down 8 spots from where I had them last year. And man, it's just not pretty to watch Ottawa right now. Again, they have players I really like. Duchesne, I'm a big Duchesne fan. I want the Adidas road jersey for the Senators with his name on it. I still like Gabrick, but just their whole management system, they're just, I don't know what else to say. Not a big Ottawa fan right now. Still like the jersey, still like the look though, so there's that. Alright, so at number 29, the Winnipeg Jets. They are down 2 spots from where I had them last year, but I think by the end of the season they might go up a little higher on this list. Maybe go back up 2 spots. I don't know. Their new third jersey that they brought out and their heritage jersey that they brought out are a big reason I'm kind of liking them. I really like Mark Scheifele. I really like Patrick Laine. And that's about it, really. Their jerseys and those 2 players. Oh, I like Nick Ehlers too. Nick Ehlers is awesome. So those 3 players are a reason I like them. Again, like I said, I don't really hate any of these teams. I just don't really find myself cheering for Winnipeg that often, unless they're wearing that sweet third jersey. This one right here. That's the one I really like. Whenever they wear that, I'll always cheer for them. It's such a nice jersey. Alright, number 28, actually up 1 spot from last year, the Edmonton Oilers. I've kind of come around to the orange jersey, and that was enough to put them up 1 spot. At first, I really hated their orange home jersey, and now I kind of like it. It's weird, but jerseys definitely have a huge impact in my likingness of a team, as well as players, and not necessarily have really anything to do with the team itself, but if they have sweet players that I like, and they have nice jerseys, I tend to like them more. I've been that way ever since I was 5 or 6 years old. But I've really kind of come around to the Oilers. For the long time, they would have been the last spot. I hated them for a very long time. But McDavid makes it really hard to hate them. He is so fun to watch. I just hope the best for McDavid, whether that's not playing for the Oilers anymore or I don't know. But the Oilers definitely need to figure their shit out. Alright, so at number 27, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're up 3 spots from last year. Biggest reason being Mitch Marner. Mitch freaking Marner, he is becoming one of my favorite players. And if I can find the Stadium Series jersey that they wore against Washington, I will definitely be getting Marner on that. But I also really like Nikita Zaitsev, Freddie Anderson. Austin Matthews, he's fun to watch, although I wish he was a Phoenix, Arizona Coyote. But Toronto, they have grown in my books solely mostly because of Marner. He is just so fun to watch. He's one of the best passers I've ever seen. Definitely in today's game for sure. And I think he's only going to get better. Quite frankly, I would make him captain. He is just, I think, their best player even ahead of Matthews and ahead of Tavares, who I'm not a big fan of, never really have been, but he's a good hockey player. And for that reason alone, really, they're up 3 spots on my list this year. So we'll see where they are next year when I do this again. How badly is my hair getting messed up putting on all these jerseys? That's what I really want to know. Alright, so at number 26, down 2 spots from last year, the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit is one of the teams that bounces around probably more than anyone. This is probably the lowest they've been in quite a while, probably since 2008 when they beat Pittsburgh. They just don't have a heck of a lot of players that I really like. I was very disappointed that Jokinen didn't get a sign-off contract there this year when he played for them in the preseason, which I'll definitely be getting that preseason Detroit jersey for Jokinen. That'll be so nice. Really, the only player I really like on Detroit right now is Gustav Nyquist, and he might not even be there that much longer, so I think it'd be cool if he got traded to Calgary. Love the jerseys, don't really have anything bad to say about that, but just right now, they're just kind of meh. Like I said, don't hate them, but they just really aren't doing it for me right now. Alright, so number 25. Down 5 spots from last year, actually. The Washington Capitals. And I don't really have a reason for dropping them down other than other teams just moving up and moving ahead of them. They won their Stanley Cup. I was very happy for them. Would have rather had Vegas win, I'm not going to lie. But they have their cup. I'm happy for them, so I don't feel the need to necessarily cheer for him as much anymore. I still love Backstrom. I still love Eller. Ovi is definitely growing in my books over the last 4 to 5 years, maybe. I really like their jerseys. With the exception of their 3rd jersey, I hate that very much with a passion. I think it's one of the worst jerseys in NHL history. I can't stand it. I really wish they would have went to the Eagle as a 3rd jersey. If they would have done that, they probably would have stayed at number 20 or maybe even moved up. I think that would have been fantastic to bring back the jersey Ovi would have worn his rookie season. Would have been awesome. I think they missed the boat with that one. But yeah, like I said, the Capitals have really just kind of dropped, not necessarily on any of their own fault or any of their own doing, just other teams kind of going up that I've started to cheer for a little bit more. The Philadelphia Flyers, they're up 1 spot from the previous time I did this list last year, and they're up that 1 spot mostly because of Shane Gostisbehere. I've really become a big fan of him over the last year and a half. But he's had a rough year. The whole Flyers organization's had a rough year. Carter Hart looks fantastic, though, in net. We'll see if he's actually finally the one person to solve their goaltending problems. I don't know, but we'll see. I was really going to consider bumping them up even more based on their black 3rd jersey, but they shot themselves in the foot with the numbers and the name bar on the black jersey, so that didn't help them out at all like I thought it would. But it is what it is. Alright, so number 23, down 5 spots as well. Columbus Blue Jackets. Again, not necessarily so much of any doing of their own. It's just other teams I like a lot more this year. And we'll get to them in a bit. But they still have a lot of players I like. I was sad when they got rid of Jokinen and sent him to Vancouver. But I still really like Bjorkstrand. I love Panarin. Boone Jenner, Pierre-Luc Dubois, fantastic players. Really fun to watch. So yeah, I don't know what it is with Columbus. There's just something that just leaves me wanting more with them. Alright, so number 22 and up 1 spot from last year, the Buffalo Sabres. They're a team that is exciting to watch. When they came to Calgary and we went to the game, we went and watched the warm-ups and it was fantastic. They realized how many players I actually quite liked on the team. Jason Pominville, Jack Eichel, Nathan Beaulieu, Rasmus Dahlin, Ristolainen, fantastic players. Ullmark and Ned is fun to watch. And they're just a really exciting team to really watch. And I think Buffalo has a great future ahead of them. And I absolutely love their jerseys and logo, so it doesn't hurt them either. Alright, so number 21 and up 5 spots from last year, the Boston Bruins. One of the bigger rises from last year. 2 big reasons. The first being the Winter Classic jersey that they wore against Chicago this past year. I think is one of the best Winter Classic jerseys of all time. I absolutely love it, and I want it real bad. And number 2, David Pastrnak. Last year during my playoff predictions, I said I thought he was the greatest player in NHL history. I said that sarcastically, but honestly, he's so good and he's fantastic to watch, and I think the world of him. I think he has a very, very high potential, and I think we're only seeing the beginning of it. So we'll see. But for right now, and Yaroslav Halak and John Moore, before I forget, two of my favorite players, my favorite goalie in the NHL right now, plays for them. Has had a decent year, and John Moore is one of my favorite defensemen from his time as a Ranger and as a Devil. So for those few reasons, I've really, really liked Boston this year. I still hate the fact that they switched their yellow socks to black socks on their home jersey, but that's a minor detail. If they didn't do that, maybe they would have went up 6 spots instead of 5. Who knows? All right, so at number 20, down 4 spots from last year, the Chicago Blackhawks. Now that Host is gone, he's probably one of my all-time favorite players. Now that he's gone, they don't have Panarin anymore. I don't know, Chicago has just dropped off in my books quite a bit. They would have been quite a bit higher if Host was still there, if they still had Panarin. I like Kane still, he's awesome. Never really been a huge Taves fan. I've never really been a huge Corey Crawford fan. Duncan, Keith, and Seabrook, they're okay. But again, never really liked them that much. Love the jerseys, with the exception of the stupid-ass collar that they have on their Adidas jerseys. That's ugly as hell. And no Blackhawks fan can argue with that. But we'll see. If they get more players I like, they can go up the ladder again. It's not that hard. They still have a sweet goal horn. Love the goal song still. Haven't got sick of it yet. But for right now, this is where they are. Alright, so at number 19, the Montreal Canadiens. They're in the same spot that they were last year. I think that's the first one on this list so far. I really like watching them play. Always a great atmosphere to watch a Montreal home game. I like the jerseys. I like the logo, so I can't really complain about that. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Arturi Lehkonen are really fun to watch as well. I started an NHL franchise motor with the Montreal Canadiens. I pretty much blew up the whole team, but I did keep Arturi Lehkonen and Kotkaniemi. I love their goal horn, love their goal song. It's really fun. Max Domi's had a hell of a year. He's been quite a surprise, fun to watch as well. And I hope the best for him. I hope they make the playoffs, to be honest. The playoffs are always better when Montreal's in it. Alright, so number 18, down 1 spot from last year, the Anaheim Ducks. With the exception of this jersey, this has been a pretty forgettable year for them. I still really like Andre Kasha, Hampus Lindholm's fantastic, Silverbird. Sad to see Cogliano go. Patrick Eaves, I hope he stays healthy. I don't know. They're just meh. They've really disappointed this year, and they're not really fun to watch. They've just been getting destroyed left, right, and center. I don't know. The Ducks, for whatever reason, have just been not good this year. I think it's time to change things up. Maybe think about getting rid of Getzlaf and Perry if you can. I don't know. I'm not a Ducks fan, so I can't really say what's best for the team, but something's got to be done. They definitely have potential to move back up the list, though, at some point. They just need a few more players I like. And bring this back as their full-time home jersey. I think that would be fantastic. Alright, so number 17, down 4 spots from last year, the Minnesota Wild. I really still like a lot of the players. Eric Stahl's fantastic. I love the jersey. Disappointed that they didn't bring out a 3rd jersey this year, but I'm sure we'll get one sometime soon. I don't know. Again, sort of like Columbus, there's just something missing with Minnesota. I just keep wanting more. They've never really had a single player that has been my absolute favorite, probably since the time when they had like Gabrick or Marc-Andre Bergeron on the team. Like I said, I really like Eric Stahl. Parise's fine. Koivu, he's a great leader, great captain. But I don't know, there's just something, like I said, they've just always left me wanting more. It's kind of sad. Alright, number 16, the St. Louis Blues. I believe they're down 4 spots as well. And this is one of the teams that, like I said in previous videos, I dreamed of playing for the St. Louis Blues as a kid. It's one of the few teams that I really, really would have loved to play for. They've just been kind of in the middle of mediocrity for the last few years, decades, whatever it is. I don't know. if they turn around and start getting more players I like, I would absolutely have no problem cheering for them. They don't have a heck of a lot of players that I'm really, really excited to watch, with probably the exception of Tarasenko and Pietrangelo. I like Parenko too. He's really good. But, I don't know. We'll see where St. Louis ends up in the future. But for right now, I think this is a decent spot for him. Kind of right in the middle. Alright everyone, that wraps up this part of the video. The bottom, I guess, 16 teams. I will do my top 15 tomorrow, so be sure to look out for that video if your team was not in this video. I just don't want to put out a half-hour video. I want to give each team, a decent amount of time talking about them without feeling rushed. And I got to go to work and I got to fix my hair, so that ends this video. But be sure to hit like and subscribe if you can. You can check me out on Instagram and Twitter as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the top 15 of my favorite teams. Take care. Bye.